A little advice for the Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle. Get over yourself, you're not that important, and your crap stinks like everybody else. Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. The Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, is allegedly upset and overwhelmed by a recent South Park episode that aired. Now, in this episode of South Park, which aired, called the Worldwide Privacy Tour, a character known as the Prince of Canada and his biracial black wife are shown shooting off fireworks at 10:30 at night. And it seems like where Cartman is trying to learn something from an infomercial package, his studies are disrupted by this display, and as he goes to the window to check out this display, he hears the Prince of Canada going and talking about how he wants his privacy as he's shooting off these fireworks at 10:30 at night. And Cartman, in response, calls the police, which tell them that they can do nothing because this display is done by the Prince of Canada, and because it's done by the Prince of Canada, there is nothing they can do. Now, the Duchess of Ratchetness, on hearing about this episode of South Park being presented in the States, is allegedly upset and overwhelmed by this episode. And to the Duchess of Ratchetness, I have to say, get over it, because you are living in America, and because you are living in America, you have to abide by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, people have the right to freedom of speech, people have the right to freedom of expression, and when you are a public figure and you present yourself as a public figure, you are open to all sorts of commentary and criticism, and that commentary and criticism can include comedy such as satire. That is what flies over the head of the Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, who wants to allegedly sue the producers of South Park for alleged defamation, but there is no case at all for the Duchess of Ratchetness to make as related to this episode of South Park, because this episode of South Park is making criticism and commentary in their satire of reports that have been presented in the mainstream media, and because they are making commentary and criticism in their satire of a caricature of the alleged Prince and the Duchess of Ratchetness, there is no case to be made, so it looks like the Duchess of Ratchetness is ass out as related to her alleged claims of making a lawsuit, because a public figure, again, cannot make any sort of lawsuit as related to a satire in a comedy. Now, the Duchess of Ratchetness, I believe, is upset because her image is basically being mocked by the creators of South Park, but if she wants to be upset at anyone, she needs to be upset at herself, because it was the Duchess of Ratchetness and Prince Harry who were the ones airing all of the dirty laundry as related to the royal family, with many of the reports that were presented on the Netflix documentary and in Prince Harry's book Spare. And in that media, Prince Harry and the Duchess of Ratchetness were all eager to go out here and go into the royal hampers, go out here and show us the skid marks in the back of the drawers of King Charles, Prince William, and Kate Middleton, and they were all eager to show us how much their crap stank. However, when a Comedy Central wants to go out here and make a satire of the alleged behavior that the Duchess of Ratchetness and Prince Harry participated in as they made their claims, that's when the Duchess of Ratchetness starts to get in her feelings and get upset and overwhelmed. And I believe it looks like the Duchess of Ratchetness is allegedly upset and overwhelmed because they're showing the brown line in the back of her skid mark thong, and it looks like to me that the Duchess of Ratchetness wants everybody to believe that her crap doesn't stink, when we can clearly see that there's a big brown line in the back, because it's clear probably the Duchess of Ratchetness doesn't wash her ass. And that's what the Duchess of Ratchetness is upset about. She's upset that the world knows that she doesn't wash her ass, and now she wants to get mad at everyone because they're showing how she's talking a lot of crap about how she's not having her privacy respected when she's out here airing all of the dirty laundry, but she doesn't want the dirty laundry aired out on her. Now, the Duchess of Ratchetness, she's upset that all of these different media outlets have been airing all of this dirty laundry, and what she doesn't like is the fact that an institution like South Park has gone out here and mocked her. What she doesn't understand is that South Park has basically satirized basically every prominent celebrity over the 20+ years it's been on the air, and if you are a celebrity, you just learn how to brush it off, because South Park has made mockery of basically every celebrity and every politician on the planet, and this would be an indicator that Meghan Markle has arrived as the Duchess of Ratchetness, but the Duchess of Ratchetness just shows how ratchet she actually is, because the only type of image that she wants seen of herself is one that presents her in a positive light, even though she's not participating in positive behavior. No, she has been extremely ratchet over the last couple of years, ever since she got involved with the royal family, and as she's been participating in her ratchet scheme to become the new American princess, she has no problem going out here and trying to flout the rules of the royal family, looking to impose her feminist agenda on the royal family, the first family of white supremacy. And as she's out here, she thinks it's okay for her to do whatever she wants without ever having any sort of semblance of accountability to anyone. And this is the thing that has the Duchess of Ratchetness upset about this whole episode of South Park called about the privacy. She's upset about this episode called the Worldwide Privacy Tour because it shows how the tour she was on was nothing but hypocrisy as related to coming to America after being stripped of her royal title, and then how this worldwide tour that she was going on as a newly stripped royal is all about her looking to get attention and fame that she could not get on her own as an actress, because as an actress she was just another dime a dozen biracial black woman, and Hollywood had already met its quota for biracial light-skinned black women with long pretty hair, crystal eyes, and creamy white skin. But she thought she could just hop over all of the other biracial women by going out here and getting involved with Prince Harry, and then eventually becoming the Duchess of Ratchetness. She thought she could be a royal and thought it would lead to her becoming one of the royal elite, but they just showed her how black she was, and that's what got her upset, and she had to leave the royal family, and now she's being criticized on South Park, and she can't take the heat. And that's what seems to be the problem here. Meghan Markle, when she was a D-list actress, was all cool with everything. She was cool with different things, but when it comes down to being a celebrity like she wanted to be on the A-list or being a part of royalty, she doesn't want to get with the program. No, what she thinks is that she can go out here and be in places like the entertainment and the royal family on her terms. However, if you enter into the royal family or the entertainment industry, you are signing a deal with the devil, and when you sign that deal with the devil, usually you wind up having to deal with it on his terms. And that's what the Duchess of Ratchetness really doesn't understand. When you go into these institutions of white supremacy, like the media arm of white supremacy, or the royal family, you are submitting to their terms, and you can't get upset when the deal turns into a raw deal, because this is the deal you agreed to. And part of the deal you agreed to in order to get that attention and that so-called fame is that you were going to have to deal with people in these media circles going out here and making commentary and criticism about you. That is the deal you agreed to. when you become an actress like the Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, and it is also the deal you agree to when you become married to a member of the royal family. That is something that Meghan Markle has a hard time dealing with, because as a feminist, she thinks everybody is supposed to submit to her, but nobody in the mainstream media submits to her. No, if you present information out here about yourself, you are opening yourself up to commentary and criticism, and this is why people who are a part of public life oftentimes go out here and are very selective and careful about the information they present in these media platforms. Smart people who are in public figures, they try to be careful about crafting their image. Unfortunately, the Duchess of Ratchetness was not careful in crafting her image. No, all she was caught up in was her feelings about the attention she was receiving. And as she was caught up in her feelings about the attention she was receiving from the mainstream media, she was not thinking critically about how that media was trying to create that image, because she didn't understand the importance of individuals that any celebrity usually has, like an agent or a publicist, in crafting a media image. No, the Duchess of Ratchetness was so ratchet, she thought, oh, I'm going to become a part of these social circles, and they're just going to like me. No, when anybody who enters any sort of public life needs to understand that nobody is going to like you, nobody is going to respect you, unless you present actions that show you are likable or respectable. And sadly, the Duchess of Ratchetness did not participate in any sort of behaviors that showed that she was likable or respectable when she was out here as a D-list actress, and she did not show anything that showed that she was likable or respectable when she was out here with the royal family. No, she thought because she was a biracial black woman that her skin and her hair would basically make her appealing to people, but you have to have more than that as related to your public image, because your public image is carefully crafted, and it's something that anybody who is in entertainment understands, that you have to really watch what you present on these mainstream media platforms. You have to watch what you present on these mainstream media outlets. You have to watch how you even carry and conduct yourself in public, because any information can be used to present unflattering pictures. This is what the Duchess of Ratchetness does not understand. And again, she does not understand this because she's green and she's inexperienced, and she thought, oh, because I'm just some hot chick, oh, people will like me. No, nobody cares if you're hot, and they care even less when you're out here with a prince like Prince Harry. Many of those white females are jealous of a woman like the Duchess of Ratchetness, and they get irritated at her ratchet schemes. But the whole thing is that Meghan Markle basically opened herself up to all of this with all of her behavior, and she wants us to believe that she is some sort of victim. No, the Duchess of Ratchetness is not a victim of anything here at all. No, she's not a victim, because if you again are a public figure and you present information to the public, you are open to that criticism. Even someone like myself, as a YouTuber, I am open to public criticism. And again, once you put information out there, you've got to really you've got to deal with the consequences of that information. And that is what the Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, doesn't seem to understand about all of this going round. No, she's sitting here angry about people seeing the skid mark in the back of her thong, seeing that brown line in the back of that butt crack, and that's what's got the Duchess of Ratchetness extremely upset about this whole episode of South Park. She's upset that everybody's seeing her dirty drawers, even though she and Prince Harry had no problem airing all of the dirty laundry on Netflix in their little documentary, Harry and Meghan, and she had no problem watching as her husband was willing to air all of the dirty laundry in Spare the book about the heir that nobody cares about, and she had no problem with all of this, but she's upset over an episode of South Park. Well, I guess she's so upset about an episode of South Park, maybe she can go out here and go play a couple of games of Fortnite, the game that she wanted to ban because her husband was playing it, and maybe she can go and enjoy those couple of games of Fortnite, and it'll help her get over all of her little feelings as related to her bruised ego, because no one cares that you're upset and overwhelmed over an episode of South Park, because an episode of South Park is going to come and go, but the Duchess of Ratchetness ratchet behavior will remain ratchet until she decides to finally just stop being a part of the prominent social circles of the entertainment industry. Now, if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find all of those on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find those books at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you'd like to see me do more videos about the Ratchet Royals, like the Duchess of Ratchetness and her husband, Prince Harry, and talking about all of the dysfunctional things going on with them, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App, and it'll all be greatly appreciated. That is all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today.